It felt cut from a similar cloth to Wake Up Sunshine, but also almost taking what we learned from that and applying it. And I think this new song, Once in a Lifetime, feels a lot like it was built from the same pieces that we used to put Monsters together. It's just a very different song.
Hi guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Rock Sound, still in the home studio, still bringing you all the latest music news. And today, All Time Low have just dropped their brand new single entitled Once in a Lifetime. This is their first new music since their album Wake Up Sunshine, which was released last year and made it to the number 3 position in the UK's official album chart. So we had a chat with Alex Gaskarth over Zoom recently to find out a little bit more about how this new song came together.
Yeah, when we realized that touring was going to be a lot further off than we first anticipated, we kind of just took things back into our own hands as like control what we can control, which is making music and creative. And, because we can do that remotely even. We've done writing sessions like this. We just got back to work. And that was one of the first songs that kind of came out of it. And it's a song about heartbreak and analyzing this idea of, people going through a trial in their lives and sort of that feeling of like an epic loss or an epic low. Because I think a lot of people have gone through those things and felt those things through this pandemic. There have been, many trials on people, and it just felt like a sentiment that made sense and needed to be touched on. I think it applies to our lives personally and things that we've all felt in the band, but more so than that, it felt like a very universal concept of dealing with loss, coping with loss. I think what's interesting about it was like, we were seeing artists like, how Taylor Swift did Folklore and then put out the sister record, and it kind of like felt like this 2-part anthology. And it was sort of like, there were a few artists that did that, and then it kind of felt like we had a connective thread there with this new music we were creating. It felt cut from a similar cloth to Wake Up Sunshine, but also almost taking what we learned from that and applying it. And, I think this new song, Once in a Lifetime, feels a lot like it was built from the same pieces that we used to put Monsters together. It's just a very different song. So it was cool to kind of grow that, because obviously Monsters on the album is sort of a different track. The album has a sound, and then I think Monsters is sort of unique on that album. It kind of stands out and stands on its own. And there was something there that we tapped into that like we'd already written most of the record at that point. So like we didn't fully keep going down that road of whatever that was. So this was a cool chance for us to do that, it almost feels like we're just continuing the record. Like I don't know what it is yet. I don't know whether we're making a new album. I don't know if we're making an extended version of the album. I have no idea yet, but I just know that the music that we're making right now feels like this, almost Wake Up Sunshine plus, like Wake Up Sunshine on steroids is shit feels like right now, which is great.
If you've heard the track, then you'll know by now that there is a key moment in this song where Alex actually sings the words All Time Low to music. We had to ask him how that particular moment came to be.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of meta thinking to using that line and actually being okay with it. I think when we were writing that song and I was writing the chorus, we had the structure loosely, and we kind of honed the concept into this, the twist on I hope a heart only breaks this bad once in a lifetime, and kind of dialing that in was really what realized the concept, because it was like I'd never heard that hook said that way in song before. So I thought I thought we stumbled into something really unique and really cool there. And then, it just happened to sort of fit with the vibe of the lyrics and what we were talking about, and how All Time Low for us as a band has been like a saving grace through all of this and through all of the loss that we've encountered and all of the things that have been so tragic and hard to deal with for us. One of the things that really kind of kept us afloat and coming back and feeling okay was our own band. And so the line of Till I Hit an All-Time Low it means so many different things in so many different ways in the context of this song, because obviously there's the face value, you hit rock bottom, but there's also this internal kind of meta story about, me finding my place in All Time Low and that feeling like a safe, secure net for me, falling into something that I know is sure and I know I'm confident in. And so I think there was something really interesting with that dynamic. And when we wrote it in, I just remember sitting there with Andrew and Jack, who I wrote the song with, and just being like, fuck, can we say this? Can I get away with doing this? Or is this super fucking cheesy? And it was just like, at first we were like, nah, we can't do that. That's horrible. You got to take that out. And then eventually, like, the more we kind of sat with it and the more we realized like how many different meanings it had for the song and for us, it was just like, no, this is actually pretty fucking cool. And I guess like we've been a band for 15 years, so we've earned the right name drop our own band, I guess. At this point, it's like, you know, if you did it on your first single, maybe that's a little fucked up. But at this point, we can get away with it.
All Time Low also made an appearance recently on The Ellen Show, where they performed their huge single Monsters, which continues to climb up the charts in the US. We asked Alex about that experience, particularly being one of the first musical guests allowed back into the TV studio since the pandemic.
You know, going and playing on Ellen, it was her first live band back in the studio since the pandemic. So it was a really special, weird, surreal moment for everyone. You know, it's like, you know, Ellen's pretty legendary, but then like she sits there in the audience because there was no actual audience. So she, prior to the show, she's like sitting in the audience watching a sound check and like rehearse the song 4 or 5 times. Like the producer comes up afterwards and it's just like, I've literally never seen her do that in all the years that we've been here. Like everyone was genuinely so excited that there was just anything. Yeah, man. So it was really, really cool. Usually, you know, when you play Ellen, it's usually live for real. And like you're in the studio and you do it and it's all a whirlwind and then you leave and you're like, what the fuck just happened? But the fact that it was, you know, it was done the way it had to be done. And so we were actually at the airport when it aired. We were like going to board our flight back here to Los Angeles. And like I was walking past, I mean, all the bars are shut, but I was walking past one of the bars in the airport and there we are on TV performing on Ellen. And I was like, holy fuck, like, yeah, it was just, I don't know. It's just one of those very weird, like, damn, I feel lucky as hell. Is really what it's come down to.
You're going to be able to read our full chat with Alex Gaskarth over on the website, so just keep your eyes peeled at rocksound.tv. And in the meantime, I've been James Wilson Taylor, and this has been a Rock Sound News Update.